Biddly, 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 bo. Yes, yes, yo. Here we go. Ain't nobody down round here. You know what time it is. Get that badger in and on and over here. We had to move back to get his greatness in. The clout chasers here, the clock watchers are no doubt in and on and over here. I've been told to scrap the intro as it's cringe as F, somebody put. And I thought, well, putting cringe as F is about as cringy as a comment could ever be. So as we do round here, we double down on it, don't we? The intros are going nowhere. The badger's in, the badger's on, and the badger's over here. And we're never, ever going to excuse these intros. These intros are what we live and die for on the channel. It's all I've got in the locker. So if you don't like them, shit is as shit does. Quick shit vid. We've got just two topics, really, two players to discuss. Obviously, yesterday we signed, just as we were talking, funnily enough, about strikers and how we were linked with all sorts of different names. We have now signed a striker from Wolfsburg. He's called Lucas Nemecha. Been really injury prone over the past 4 seasons. He's always been blighted each and every year with at least one injury, which is not great. Hamstring and knee issues he's had. He played 24 games over the last 2 seasons. We have done quite well with the injury prone boys last season. To be fair, Bogle, Solomon. But yeah, each of his last 4 seasons, he has had at least one injury, which is not great. But I don't think he's coming in as the number one. It is a free transfer. He's 26 years old, 2-year deal. I think it's good for him and the club by the sounds of it. I don't want to get embroiled in this like that we're signing Deadwood. That will be the clickbait title. But, you know, I just think it's good that we're getting moving. I also think it's good that we're not just coming in, spunking a load of money, £38 million on, say, you know, your Rodrigo type, and then saying that you're done. I actually want us to bolster the squad. Anybody that we bring in to build the squad, I think it'll be far better. We're going to need people to really understand the role at the club. Apparently, he spoke to Farker a lot, so he will understand, you know, that he'll be coming in to make a solid effort in attempting to get into the side, knowing that he'll get an opportunity. Farker will have promised him some opportunities. Obviously, we're looking like Joseph's on the way out, so we're going to need backup for Peru because he's a different type of player to Peru. He looks like a strong, big lad up top, really physical, says he likes to run into channels. That's not what Peru is. Peru. I think Peru stays at the club as the current number one, but I do think, you know, that we'll be looking to bring in more. I just think it's good that we're getting moving, bringing him in on a free transfers. I think it's good. It's going to be crucial to have some backup. Might need a bit more of a target man to hit up top at points this season. You know, if we're up against it a little bit, if he does want to run channels and stuff, and we can just sort of ping it to him, I think that's a real step in the right direction. Apparently, he's been speaking to everybody's best mate, Joshua Gilavogi, which will be no surprise to say. I had only good things to say about the club. As I say, spoke to Farker a lot, so he'll understand his role. I think it's honestly exciting. I'm glad we're getting players in, bolster the squad. Lucas Nemecha isn't the answer, but he will be very useful of that. I think there is absolutely no doubt. I think it's good that we're bringing in a young lad. He's only 26, 2-year deal, so it's not on, you know, it's on the provisory to get us to a certain place within the Premier League, isn't it? If he's in the squad, I just can't see the problem. We're bringing him in on a free. He's got international caps. He's, you know, he was a promising youngster at Man City and stuff. You just never know. Farker might be able to get a certain type of tune out of him. You know, he might be the new Tyler Roberts that everybody loved. That's a joke if everybody goes crazy. Yeah, I think it's exciting. I'm glad he seems like a decent lad. Don't know what about him other than, you know, I don't know him physically, personally. But, you know, his interview seemed like he knew, understood what he was doing. You just want players coming in, understand the role, trying to get in the squad, can see a way into the squad, can see a way of making a career for themselves within that. We're probably struggling for options. So, you know, we are going to ultimately, you know, unless you are coming in as the number one, I did think we'd struggle to bring players in to bolster the squad. They're all going to want to come in as the number one. But I think you'll be aware that he can be. I think the provisory will be from Farker, really. If you get fully fit, I will give you a chance every single week. You know, like if you're better than Peru, Parisli, you will be the number 9 at the club. I think really, I don't think he will be that on the basis, but you can bring him in on that proviso, can't you, without lying to him. The truth always is the most important thing when you're talking to players, I believe. You know, you can't bullshit them, and that's how you create disharmony. And I just think he'll understand. He'll get minutes at the club. It's a top club. It's a really well-supported club, like Gilavogi has been telling him. It's a step in the right direction. I love it. As long as we can bring in more, I'm glad we've done it this way around also. I think, because I think you can appease fans, because there are a lot of fans are going crazy about this signing, which I just don't understand. Wolfsburg are a decent side, but, if we'd have gone in and bought Rodrigo like we did last time, which I've been such an advocate against doing that, spending 40 million on Deadwood, where you get little bits of performances out of him. He gets 10 goals in one season and everybody goes crazy about it, saying that, it's a second coming. If you get 5 or 6 goals out of Lucas Nemecha next season, you'd be absolutely delighted with that one, providing it's off the bench and, Peru Paraprizli's chipping in with goals and stuff and getting players in and around him. Bijol is apparently done. So getting 22 million euros, 18.7 million quid. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed it. Deal done, and here we go, he said. So he's set for his medicals. Maybe the 49ers don't work in as much silence as we deem. The 22 million euros is apparently with all the add-ons. So that's inclusive of the add-ons. So that might not be the upfront fee, which is good for the PSR stuff. Just quickly as well, Lucas Nemecha signs on the 1st of July when his contract ends at Wolfsburg. So whether or not he comes over or not, I don't know that. I don't know how that'll all work out. I don't know whether Wolfsburg will sort of release him early, and I'm sure he's just making plans to get settled in Leeds City Centre and get out for a couple of parties before the pre-season really starts getting going. But yeah, Jacoby all done as well, so we are getting the business done. It's good stuff. There's been 2 weeks of Jacoby all talk, and I did think it would get into the point where it's just woof talk and people just circling around the same player all the time. But it looks like it's happened. Personal terms apparently agreed a while ago. He said he's openly said he wanted to leave the club. I think it could be a decent shout, because obviously he's a left-footed centre back. I think it could be everybody's saying it's Pascal Struijk's replacement. I think it could be a decent shout for people saying that we're going to play a 3 at back, which I don't think we predominantly will. But I aren't ruling out for moments in games or up against certain opposition. I aren't ruling out the fact that Farker will go 3 at back, to be honest, and play with wing backs. I think he'll have a few surprises up his sleeve this season, Will Farker. And I know nobody likes to hear that, but I really do. And you have to remember also, Pascal Struijk does pick up many injuries, doesn't he? He is one that will pick up an injury per season as well. So, it's exciting to bring in 2 players. I mean, Bijol's not 100% done yet, but it's if Fabrizio Romano is saying it's done and that done deal, and here we go, set for medical, then providing all goes well with medical, a good big tall strong lad again. Hopefully, like we've said, good from set pieces. It's exciting, isn't it, boys? I think majority of people understand the Lucas Nemecha signing, and understand where the club are trying to take us. Bolster the squad, make the squad stronger. I think he does make the squad stronger, particularly if we're losing players like Joseph. And Joseph has got his critics, and everybody's going crazy because a lot of people love him. But if Joseph is to go out the door, who are you going to bring in as potentially second or third striker? If we're bringing in another striker, is Nemecha better than Joseph right now? The jury's out. I would argue he is. So, but we'll see. We will see. We'll see. I hope Joseph stays. I don't really care whether he comes, goes, stays, loans, sold. I don't really care. It's interesting. Take it easy, everybody. Keep subscribing, keep liking. Appreciate every which one here. Peace.
Boom.